little windy today. We had a good storm last night. Today is lessons learned. We're going on this 1998 Ford F-150. Here's the problems I was having on this truck. The fuel pump just kept cutting out, right? So it would just cut out like it, you know, the battery was just pulled out of the vehicle, or the alternator was pulled out of the vehicle. As you see, I've been troubleshooting the living snot out of this thing. I even pulled out the breaker box. I'm disconnected over there on the battery, if you see that. Checking everything, rebuilt a couple grounds. You see one of the grounds over there I rebuilt. Just making sure that I know it was an electrical issue, because a fuel system problem, usually when the truck dies or a vehicle dies because of a fuel system problem, it will die kind of gradually, like over the course of a couple seconds. This just turned off like my engine was taken out. As you see here, I've ripped apart my dash, been tracing down electrical. I do have the book, and I've been going through the wiring diagrams, right? Here's one thing. First and foremost, a lessons learned for you ladies and gentlemen out there is first learn how to read these wiring diagrams, learn what these little symbols mean, right? And I'm not 100% confident with all these symbols. I should be, because I'm a ham radio operator and they teach this stuff quite often. But as you see, I have torn this truck out. Over there in the side panel, this side panel, the whole dash is pulled out, going out and troubleshooting this. A lot of effort put into this, when I think reading these diagrams, one thing I didn't check: PCM power diode, right? Now I did check the fuses, you know, coming in here. I did go down here to the power relay. I checked the relay, even swapped out a relay, because you see right there I got extra relays laying around because troubleshooting this mess. And everything else. The problems were that first and foremost, the power to the fuel pump was just shutting off. It wasn't just the power to the fuel pump shutting off, though. It seemed like the power to the injectors was shutting off. And then when I put my code reader on this thing, the ODB2 port was powering my code reader, but the code reader acted like nothing was plugged into it. I have been through these wiring diagrams like crazy, trying to figure this out. The one thing I never checked out is a diode. Now, what is a diode? A diode doesn't allow current to flow back. It only allows your current to flow one way, and if current tries to flow the other way, it shunts it off into the ground, right? These things don't really go bad as far as I know. However, this little $7 part here has kept this truck, well, and I haven't verified that this is the part. Haven't verified, but I've tested over the little rollover sensor back here. That I've got checked out the relays. All of the fuses have been checked. This one little thing right here, and that is up in the fuse box up there. I'm going to show you. Sorry about the wind. We just had a big storm, and today we're supposed to have like 60-mile-an-hour winds. So fun. Is it in this? See these little things right here? Right here and right here? Let me tap my screen. Right here in the corner. Those are the diodes. Alright, those little parts there. And there's a moment of clarity last night looking at this. Because I was like, you know, looking through here, there's obviously somebody's been in here, and I'm going to get in here and resolder this connection. It's all fucking janky. Somebody put it, you know, cobbled in a radio system back here in the past. You know, they stole out the back seat, but I had a whole bunch of wires and stuff. I just pulled all that stuff out. You know, if I'm going to keep this truck, it's going to be used as a workhorse, not as a boom box. So I'm going to fix that, but I can't, and they definitely bridged this power off of here somewhere, right? However, You know, I'm checking everything from steering column issues, where this thing is, you don't even need a key to spin this. I have to replace that too. But steering column issues to, you know, just, I've gone through all the wiring in this truck and I can't figure it out. When I looked at the PCM power diode last night, because I'm looking through here and I'm like, okay, what's stopping me from getting power down here, down to my injectors, down to, you know, where am I looking at? It's on the other page here. You know, you got all your injectors here. And then going from the injectors, we also have, you know, the fuel pump relay coming off of this port 19 right here, or off this fuse box. PCM power diode. I never looked at that. And last night when I was looking up on the Ford forums on this 4.6 liter V8, I think it's equivalent to like a 302. Isn't a lot of other cars other than these trucks, right? There's Ford Mustangs and whatnot. And Ford, funny enough, it was on the Mustang forums that somebody else was talking about this exact same problem. The injectors went dead, the power to the fuel pump went dead, and the truck wouldn't start, or the car wouldn't start. And it all came down to that part. Now, this PCM diode is a OEM part. AutoZone O'Reilly's doesn't carry it. I checked. And I ended up ordering it on a website last night. So I ordered two, one for a backup, just in case I have a bad ground somewhere or something else, jinky's going on and it's going to blow that diode. Then I'll at least have a spare diode on hand. But lessons learned. Learn to read all this and check out all the small components first before you start going through this. Now, if you have an older vehicle and you want to learn the vehicle and make sure everything's, you know, this vehicle before I got it had obviously been torn through multiple times. You know, this thing's had engine outs at least twice, you know, so I've had to fix a lot of corrections from that. And there's a lot of janky wiring that I've pulled out of here and so forth, and you see the last little remnants of here. So it's not a bad thing that I pulled this out, because I did get exposure to more of what's down here, what I have to deal with, and a few things to clean up from previous people getting in here. Not a bad thing, but also probably not terribly necessary. If I would have just ran up the chart just a little bit more and started researching all these parts. That's my lessons learned for today. Have any more comments or questions, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks.